Hello and welcome back to Story Time with Anne-Marie. For today's story, we have one that can be read in Spanish with some Spanish words. This book is called The Best Mariachi in the World. El Mejor Mariachi del Mundo. Written by J.D. Smith, illustrated by Dani Jones. The best mariachi in the world. Gustavo was the worst mariachi in the world. Everyone else in the family band could play an instrument, but not Gustavo. He did not play songs at weddings or at restaurants. He did not wear un traje de charro or un sombrero. Sometimes he reached for the bow of his brother Raimundo's violin. Raimundo quietly said, "Don't touch the bow of my violin. You might break it. It is not for you." Sometimes Gustavo tried to play his Uncle Enrique's brass trumpet. Uncle Enriquez gently said, "Put down la trompeta. You might drop it. It is not for you." Gustavo did not even try to pick up his father's guitarrón. It was taller than he was. Gustavo wondered how it would feel to strum the long strings, the long cuerdas. He imagined everyone would listen. People would look at him. The men and women would get up and dance. All the children would dance and clap. He would be Gustavo, the great mariachi. But that would never happen. No one would let him play. He would always be the worst mariachi in the world. Even his cousins would not let him try to play their guitarrón or tocar una trompeta o violín. They would say, "This is not for you." Gustavo thought, "I want to be in the band, La Banda Mariachi. But what can I do?" Gustavo got up one morning before dawn. He looked out into the desert and saw the cacti. The saguros stood like huge trees. The nopales lay close to the ground. The sky was a black bowl of stars. Somewhere, an owl hooted. A coyote padded over the sand. Everything was beautiful. No one was there to play, but he had to stand up and sing. He just had to cantar. He sang softly at first, barely moving his lips. The next day he got up a little earlier. He sang in a whisper. The day after that, Gustavo cantó a little bit louder. The following day he sang louder still. He did not think about where he was or how early it was. Before the first rooster crowed, before the first light of day peeked out from the east, Gustavo sang and cantó at the top of his voice. One by one, the lights in the houses came on. A man called out, "What is happening?" A woman wondered, "Who is that?" A child asked, "Who is the cantante?" Gustavo kept singing. He sang of traveling men. He sang of faraway places and of coming home again. He sang all the songs he knew. He sang all las canciones that he knew like his own name. A crowd of people came out to listen. At last, Gustavo finished singing. He was done with his canciones. He turned to go inside. It was time to feed the chickens. The people started to clap. They liked his singing. They were clapping for su canto. Gustavo! They called out, Bravo! Muy bueno! They kept clapping. Women waved their handkerchiefs. His brother gave him a big hug and said, You are a real mariachi. His father said, You, my son, just may be the best mariachi in the world. His cousins carried Gustavo, the best mariachi, into the house. They made him a huge breakfast. Then they fed the chickens for him. The next time the band played, Gustavo wore un traje de charro. He wore un sombrero. He sang las canciones that had brought everyone outside. All the people clapped and cheered. He took off his sombrero and took a deep bow. This, Gustavo thought, is for me. Here are some of the English words that can be said in Spanish, and they look very similar. Mariachis have been playing music since about 1880. Some people believe the name mariachi was a kind of tree used to make stages and musical instruments that mariachis play. Most mariachi bands have the Spanish guitar or guitarra, a bass guitar with a rounded back, guitarrón, a high-pitched guitar with 5 strings, vihuela, violins, and at least 2 trumpets. I do personally appreciate mariachi music, and I hope you have appreciated this story today. If you did, please click subscribe and join us again for Storytime with Anne Marie.